to go. I don't go no more. From now on, everything's gonna be alright. Don't go, don't go, don't go, don't go. Don't ever leave me.
Today is gonna be the official day that I start on the Bodywork, but I had already shaved the locks on the doors and the trunk. I did a little Bodywork on it, so if y'all want to see me do that, just check out the description. Should be popping up as well. But now we're finna tackle the exterior of the car. I'm gonna go around and find all the dings and dents and some push outs. I see some push outs here, like some was in the trunk. Push the E2 spots up, so we're gonna go ahead and mark those. We're gonna circle these. Which the owner, he done went around and found most of them, but I still been seeing some here and there. Like, we're gonna have to smooth this out here, because somebody had cut it in the past. So he welded another piece of metal on there. That's a push out there. I'm gonna circle the push outs and put an X on the dings and dents. See, I found these here the other day when I was doing the locks. All the black marks, the ones that he found. We're gonna put an X here. I seen another spot. Yeah, it's right here on this cow hood. Well, he got it marked, I think. You just couldn't see it. And when you find the dings and dents, you want to look at the car at an angle, different angles. Like you can look at it this way and see some, but you might not see the dents looking at it this way. Also, the lighting. It has a lot to do with it, because when I had it on the inside, I seen these three here that I didn't see outside. That's why I like to just continue looking as I'm doing the Bodywork for us blocking. I like to continue looking around the entire car, because you might not see some one day, the next day you see them. Well, let me just finish going around the car, finding these dings and dents. Let me show you what I did. I grinded this down to metal, bare metal, so I can put some fiberglass filler. Also, I DA'd this with 80 grit, so it'll be feather edge into the good metal with good paint. Same way with this side. And I put the trim back on just to make sure if I gotta build a fiberglass fill out some. And I see I'm gonna have to shape it up somewhat. And this top, while I'm wiping fiberglass fill on it, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it on this top as well. So I masked up the rubber to keep from taking the glass out right now. So when I start sanding, dust don't get all in the car. But I'm gonna have to sand this back down to bare metal because it's surface rusting. And there's a spot up here I'm gonna have to build up with fiberglass filler, getting tongue tied. This spot here, it's not bad, but need to be shaped up some. Sun going down on me, but I finally got everything right with fiberglass filler. Both sides. Also this front. Here's the top. I found a spot back here on this deck lid over here. That corner pushed in, so I'm gonna take my body hammer and hit it from the back side, push it up, then I wipe a skim coat there as well. Now I take 80 grit on my DA, and I knock all my fiberglass filler down, somewhere shape it up. All right, I got that taken care of. Knocked everything down with the 80 grit on the DA. I still got some low areas, but I'm gonna take care of that with some regular body filler. That's what we're about to do now, put some body filler on all my low areas. But I got some push-outs here that I gotta knock down before I fill the rest of them. I'm gonna be using this body hammer here to knock those down. Let me show you. Using this one here with this point. All my high areas knocked down. I'm jumping around now. Now I'm going around feather edge and all my chipped up paint where the trim used to be. I just got some 180 by hand going across it. Make sure it's smooth. Then I got the DA here. I'm knocking this down with 180 as well. You can see where the paint was chipped up right there. You want to feather edge it. You want to make sure it's good foundation, something good to work with. Let me show you. I can show you right here what I'm doing. Now you can see it's good and smooth. Like I said, I'm doing this with 180, but I'm gonna go back and hit all the good areas with 320. But I'm gonna spray some prime on here first. Well, I'm gonna spray some prime on here after I hit all this with 320. I'm just gonna prime this area. But I'm hitting with 180 because you don't want to paint over 180 scratches. So let me finish knocking all this down, then we'll take care of the dings and dents. I just wanted to show you this side where I feather edge everything. Then I'm gonna take you to the other side and show you what's not feather edge. See, I don't have no hard line nowhere up in here. But right here, I'm gonna have to put some glaze and put it here because it had chipped on up some. Now let me take you to the other side, show you what's not feather edged. I pulled this bumper back so I can get that air. See all this here, it's not feather edged. So you don't want that there. That'll be the first place your paint start peeling at. I'll also be taking this quarter glass out on both sides so I could do the same thing behind it. Everything feather edge on the body of the car. Except the top, I still got a feather edge. This top here, let me show you. I was pulling back this molding, so I done feather edge this here. I'm knocking it down with 80 grit first, then I'm gonna go back and hit it with some 180 to knock them 80 grit scratches out. But you can see I done this here, but look right here, where that hard line at. See that hard line? I'm just taking some 80 grit, knocking it down. Once I get it down somewhat smooth, I'll go back with some 180 and get them 80 grit scratches out. And I also been doing a little welding. I had to weld, which I done did it, so I should have showed you before I welded. It was cracked right here, so I had to weld it, keep it from flexing in the future. That's a run right there. I need to get out with some 180. But I'm almost done with the knocking these hard lines down. It's also up here. I have to pull this molding back. Feather edge. I think I'm done for today. Once I get through feather edging this here, then I'll cut y'all back on in the morning. We'll get started where we left off. Okay, now our next step is everywhere we mark the X's and the circles, we gotta scuff that area. So we'll have something to lay the body filler on, because you just don't want to lay it on top of this shining surface. It's not gonna stick. So we're gonna scuff it with some 80 grit on the DA. We're gonna go around and hit all these spots. Got the bumper pulled off right now. Need to take the front one off as well. All right. We're not trying to sand. It all depends on how big the ding and dent is. This is a small one, so I'm just gonna sand a little bit outside of the red. I took my air hose and blew my spots off that I sanded with the 80 grit to remove the dust, so I can lay my filler. Let me show you the filler I'm gonna be using. It's the USC 17,000. I'm just gonna lay it on the areas that I sanded with the 80 grit. I'm also gonna put it on the fiberglass filler as well. I'm gonna wipe some there, and on the top also. Pretty much got everything white with body filler. I got a few more areas, but I'm not gonna mix up no more until I guide coat this top. I'm putting some guide coat on it. I still gotta do the other side, cause I'm gonna use the straight line to somewhat get that smooth, so I can find all my lower areas before I put body filler up there. But I got all down here white. This is just a dry guide coat. I can show you right quick. Put a little bit more on there. This one I hit it with the straight line sander. It's gonna show me my lower areas. I need to go ahead and take this glass out so I can get up to the edge real good. There's the straight line. Back on the 96, it's actually been a few days since I shot the last clip when I was guide coating this and blocking it. Well, not blocking it, I had the straight line sander. I was knocking it down. But after that, I had came back with some regular body filler and wiped the skim coat over everything just to somewhat smooth it out a little bit more. Now, I'm gonna take my DA and knock all my body filler down with 80 grit before I start hand blocking it, because it'll be a lot easier to knock it down, knock that top coat off on everything all the way around. Here's the DA, is a porter cable, 80 grit on it. I'm not gonna try to get it down to the surface. I'm gonna get it somewhat to the surface, then do the rest by hand. All my areas knocked down with the DA. Now I'm ready to hand block. Also went on and hit this with the straight line up here again. But before I hand block, I'm gonna put some dry guide coat on it, like I did before. Walked around the car, show y'all the spots, repairs. It's not that many on this side. Top. Now we're gonna block it by hand. I'm gonna use this block here on the top because it's a big area. Now the smaller areas, I'm gonna use this smaller block with 80 grit on it. I got my 80 grit on the block. I'm gonna be going in the X pattern. Removing the guide coat. It's not gonna take long because I had knocked it down with the DA. Finished up with all the block sanding with the 80 grit. Now clean the car up, wash it off, then I take it inside, get ready to mask it up to shoot my primer. I'm just gonna be spot priming all my repairs for now. I'm gonna prime this whole top as well, but I'm thinking about putting some epoxy primer over the whole top first and then going back with some high beard primer just to seal it. We're in the shop now. Y'all won't believe it, I found 3 more spots that I had put some body filler in. It was a spot here. It wasn't very large, but I went on and wiped it. But these 2 spots back here, I had them marked because these spots here was poking up. And I knocked them down, but I just never filled them. When I brought it in here up under the lights, I seen my circle, what I had marked. So I wiped those spots. Once I get through blocking those, I'm gonna mask it up, then we'll shoot some primer. Here we go. Ready for our primer. Like I said, I'm gonna shoot the epoxy first. I probably spray some up here where this bare metal at. Also right here on those spots. Mainly the top. I want to get some good adhesion because all this fiberglass filler. But the rest of them just gonna spot primer with some high beard primer. I'm gonna spray some high beard primer over that epoxy as well. Here's the epoxy. Still flashing off, especially up here. You can see the filler imprint. Now I spray my high build primer. Be spraying this Roberta DTM. Here's the primer. I put 4 coats. I had enough to spray 4 coats and everything. Now I'm gonna put some guide coat on it. I'm gonna be using flat black spray paint. I'm gonna let it sit overnight. I'll come back out here in the morning and start blocking it. But you just wanna lightly mist this on. It ain't gotta be heavy. That's all you gotta do. Following morning, well, following day, it's almost afternoon now. Just now finna get back on it. I'll pull it outside. I was gonna sand it in here, but I have more room outside. I got a little shade, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So we're gonna take it outside. I'm gonna try to make it out of here without taking this masking off. If I can just pull it straight out, I should be good. think we're good to go. Made it out. I just peeled some of it back so I could see. Now we'll start blocking. Let me show you what we're gonna be blocking with. I use 150. It's pretty much the same thing as 180. I'll be using the same blocks. I'm just gonna take this 80 grit off and put some 150 on it. That 150 gonna be removing these 80 grit scratches. Same process going in the X pattern. Get a piece of this 150. Should be good enough there. Guess I'll take you up here on this hood. Show you right here. See right there? That's still a low spot. Gotta come down. If your sandpaper start getting clogged up, you can hit it. You can also get some compressed air and blow it off. Keep it from clogging up. You can see that's low right there. I got enough primer on here, so I should be able to block it flat. See, that's not low, that was high. You just seeing the primer from the hood itself. But it's good and flat now though. Finished up with all the blocking. Now I got some shining areas that I need to scuff up, because when I spray the next coat of primer, I'm gonna go beyond this point here. I'm gonna bring it out a little bit further, so I need to scuff up on beyond that point so I have something to primer. With something to primer, I have something to bond to. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna scuff up the whole rest of the entire car. I'm gonna use 320 on the DA. Let me show you. 320 grit. It's a mesh net. I'm gonna use it on the DA. Where the DA at? DA right here. And I just go around all my good surface. I scuff it up. It's just like using a maroon scotch spray. I got one over here as well. I might use this on areas like the contours and around the edges. Wrapping it up for us, the sanding. I got my maroon Scotch-Brite. I'm just going around the contours like this here. Also up in here. Just wherever I couldn't get with the DA sander, the flat areas. And I'm also gonna hit the jams some, cause some overspray might get in the jams. So I'm gonna hit inside those, even though I gotta sand them anyway when I paint them, but just to get a paint, something to bond to with a primer. I took the, well, I had already took the back bump off. I took the front bump off as well. I got it here outside. Let me show you what I'm gonna be doing to it. Here's the front bumper. The owner wanted me to fill these holes up here. He's not going with no tags, so I'll be filling those up. You can see a lot of spider webbing with a clear coming up. I might hit this with 180, or I might just wet sand it with 320. See if I can feather edge it some. Which I'm gonna be priming both bumpers completely. This back one, it's not too bad. Scratches here and there, spider webbing right here. That primer should take care of that. Crack in here and there. Let me fill these holes up first. I'm using 150 dry to rough up the bumpers. Here's the bumpers. I'm gonna paint these outside. Alright, I wiped these down. I just gotta wipe the car down. I got an old sheet covering up the motor. Also, the front bumper support. Same way with this back side. Still gotta wipe it down though. You can see the fingerprints. Gotta put the tire covers on over the wheels. Then I'll be good to go with my primer. On the primer, I'm gonna spray my repair areas. I'm also gonna be spraying along here because this is where the trim was originally, all the way to the back side. I'm gonna spray the whole top. I'm gonna spray the whole hood. Also the deck lid. I'm gonna be spraying this as well again. I did the shade locks.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
It got dark on me. I just wanted to cut this back on and show you the results. I'm gonna wait till in the morning and I guess put the bumpers back on and give you a final shot of it. I'm also gonna be spraying the guide coat. Might as well spray it since I already got it masked up. So I'll spray the guide coat on it as well. This is one more coat of primer. This is just so I can get the 180 scratches out when I wet sand it before paint. I'll cut y'all back on in the morning.
The next day.
Following day, I had let these sit out here overnight. I'm gonna take you inside, show you the car, which I showed y'all last night after I got through spraying it, but it's good and dry, ready to spray my guide coat. Before I move the masking, I'm gonna be spraying this flat black spray paint. Lightly misting it on. I'm not gonna spray the good areas, the white, just the primer. Which some overspray gonna get on most of it anyway, but because on this side, might as well spray everything, because on this side it ain't much white showing. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Stop.